Climate change is ongoing and is expected to continue. We may not be able to stop climate change, but we can learn to adapt. We all have a responsibility to slow down climate change as much as possible and to help everyone adapt to climate change. Steps have already been taken in many places to prevent and reduce problems caused by climate change. In some places, the city management is reducing paved areas to deal with rainwater and heat. Within a project in New York, they are painting roofs white, which is an effective heat reflector. In properties that are prone to flooding, by installing protective technologies to protect against flooding and sea level rise. Rainwater storage to deal with more frequent flooding. Requiring waterfront properties to have higher foundations. Raising pumps at wastewater treatment plants. Surveying local vulnerabilities, raising public awareness and making climate change specific planning tools like future flood maps, installing better flood defences such as seawalls and increased pumping capacity, and raising street level to prevent flooding. Adapting to climate change is an important and inevitable process, but few people talk about the environmental problems this adaptation causes. Climate change can affect us directly and indirectly. Direct impacts include changes in temperature, precipitation, and humidity. Indirect impacts include those caused by adaptation, such as irrigation, changes in crop rotation and tillage practices, and the rebuilding of modification of roads, bridges, and sewers to adapt to changed conditions. Most of these, unfortunately, require considerable human and financial resources. In order to reduce these, everyone has a duty to take every small step to reduce climate change. Adaptation actions can be grouped into three categories: structural and physical adaptation, social adaptation, and institutional adaptation. Here are some examples of steps we can take to adapt to climate change. In terms of infrastructure, roads, buildings, and bridges will need to be adapted. Rainfall may not be less, but its distribution will certainly change. It is therefore worthwhile to select the plants in the garden in such a way that durability, usefulness, or aesthetic value are not compromised. The uneven distribution of rainfall and rising temperatures means that meeting the water needs of plants will be a key issue. The existing flora supply can be made more efficient by installing a drip irrigation system. Rainwater harvesting can be used to balance the drought caused by irregular rainfall. Forecasting systems should be set up, especially for islanders, to warn well in advance of storms and other extreme weather conditions. Climate change is in our lives, so we must learn to adapt to it. First and foremost, we need to look at how we can adapt in our own communities in the areas where we live. Find out what you can do in your own environment to adapt to climate change. Find a local community that is involved and help them get involved and volunteer in this area. Find out how else you can adapt to climate change. Be careful to adapt without damaging the environment.